It's a lot of money, but it's Cristiano Ronaldo, Nedum. Would you be surprised if nobody else has come in for him?
No, I don't think I would, to be honest. Like, that amount of money is absolutely incredible, but for some of these players, when they're literally at the highest possible tier, the market is obviously going to be a lot smaller than other people, because who can afford to pay that for a single player? For everything that he's done across those years, and those last 3 years in particular, they speak for themselves, they're incredible. But, like, the market is the market, especially given the fact there's been a pandemic. And as a consequence, like, you're not going to say this year, well, we're just going to go and buy him, because £100 million for a 36/37-year-old, you have to think about it through those eyes, and you could maybe invest that into your future as opposed to trying to get a quick fix for now.
What do you think, Shaka?
I totally agree. Listen, you understand the conundrum around Ronaldo earlier in the season, in that all the talk around Juventus was they're building this project and bringing more young players through, and what better example to have in your dressing room than Cristiano Ronaldo. But at the same time, he earns so much more than everybody else. How does that kind of imbalance affect the dressing room? And right now, Ronaldo still has a year to go. So Juventus are more than happy to let him see that year out, see how this season goes, and then make an informed decision then. Because regardless of how good Ronaldo has been, and we have the same discussion around Lionel Messi, age is a factor. And at some point, between those two, they're going to start being human. And it's a €100 million kind of gamble that all of a sudden Ronaldo, age catches up to him. And if you offer him another contract, that's guaranteed. You can't back out. It's just, for me, it makes the most sense for Juventus just to sit back, wait 7 or 8 months, and then make a decision then. I don't think the market changes.
I completely agree with the guys. Now let's try to find a solution. What would be the solution for Ronaldo to have all the clubs that he wants? Forget about your wage. The endorsements will be enough. Make maybe a percentage at the end of the season to get all the money back, but sign for free. Sign for free, because that's what he wants. He's still on top. He's still the good player. So before going to maybe Asia, I don't know, to get lots of money, or maybe to North America, I don't know. Nobody wants him. Well, not too many can afford, but some people cannot afford him, therefore they don't want him anymore, except maybe Juventus, because he has a 1-year contract left. The only possibility for him to play anywhere he wants is to be free of, with no wage. That will be the thing. He has endorsement. He gets like no, but it's true. He got last year, I think, 130 million euros overall. What's the point for somebody who has $1 billion in his bank account to get 100 million more if he can get at the end of the season and get 2 years contract free? That might be a possibility for him to play.
Would Max Allegri not be happy to keep him, though, Jules? Or will this actually hinder a new start and the plans that he's got at Juventus?
No, I think Allegri will probably want to work with him and see what happens during this season. We know that Juventus obviously have extended the loan for Alvaro Morata from Atletico Madrid for 10 million euros, which is, again, let's not forget, Juventus have no money. There is no money there. There's nothing for transfers. There's even less for extensions and planning for huge wages and huge commissions and all of that. So they have to do things cleverly. They've just changed sporting directors, as we know. Flavio Paratici has left the club, so now they're trying to be clever. Morata was a clever loan, 10 million euros. You go for it, of course. Dybala has 1 year left on his contract. What do you do with him? There's things more important right now than what happens to Cristiano Ronaldo in 12 months' time. And I think they're right to focus on that. And Allegri will work with what he's given. That was the deal for him to come back. He knew from the beginning that he could not ask for, let's go and sign Frank Leboeuf for 50 million and Shaka Hislop for 50 million and Nedum Onuoha for 50 million. That's never going to happen anyway. And they're too good for Juventus and Max Allegri right now. So this is no go. But so he, in his head, he's like, okay, show me the squad and I would work as best as I can with them players. So whether that's Ronaldo and Morata up front, Dybala and Morata, Dybala and Ronaldo, Kulusevski on one side, Chiesa on the other, all of that can work. But right now, that's all they can do. And I think Allegri, if you give him Ronaldo, he will take him. Of course he will. And try to make the best out of him and the team.
My question is, what Ronaldo is willing for the next 2 years? what does he want to fill up his bank account, or does he want to get another silverware, get maybe another Champions League?
Well, we know it's the latter with Ronaldo. We know that he wants the silverware and the title.
Yeah, so if you want the silverware, make some offers to make sure that's the best team in the world. Like, do you think if he comes, like I said, let's say for free, he goes to Manchester City, he goes to Guardiola, I pay for free for a season because I want to win the Champions League. If he goes to Paris Saint-Germain, he does the same. Who will be that crazy to say no to Ronaldo? If you want to win silverware, if he wants to fill up his bank account, that's another problem.
I think as far as like the Champions League thing goes, there's never a guarantee that you will win it regardless of wherever you end up.
No, but you know that if you stay at Juventus, you have almost no chances to win it. I'm sorry for Juventus fans. But,
you really think that there's no chance for them to
we saw that last year. We saw that the year before. We know where Manchester City stands, where Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain stands, Bayern Munich. We have to admit that they're above Juventus, and it's going to be hard for them.
And I think as well, like, this is so taxing a thing to say, and like I'm sure people will shout me for this, but for everything that Ronaldo's done in terms of the goals that he scores, it's coming to a point where it's almost like the balance between the goals and the cost is now leaning towards the cost as opposed to the goals. So he's almost becoming a white elephant as such, because he's guaranteed to score 30 goals every season. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. Put it in stone, doesn't matter how old he is. But in this moment, there are teams who are thriving without a Messi or Ronaldo in their team. And as a consequence, if you need to invest £100 million to bring him in, what are you bringing him for if you could maybe get success through another avenue, which probably costs less? And that's the logic in me kicking in. And I hate saying it because for me, like he's like A1 to Messi being A2. But that's ultimately the situation we're in, which is why we're having these conversations, wondering about, does Ronaldo just want to stay at Juve because there's not takers elsewhere? Listen, people would take him if, as Frank says, he cost a lot less. But for that sort of cost, you've got to weigh up the balance now, haven't you?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.